So we're going to go ahead and just create an ad now, just so that you get to understand the basic mechanism for creating an ad within Facebook. So you're going to have two options really. You should see down the left hand side the option here that says create ad. If you don't see it there, you can also click on the little cog icon and select create ad from here also. So as I mentioned before, there's two fundamental types of ad. There's the internal ad, which is where our ad's going to link to a internal Facebook page, or the external type ad where you're linking to a website that's outside of Facebook. So for this first example, I'm just going to link to a page that I've literally just created in the last half an hour, and that's called Cool Classics, and it's just a page that's going to be about classic cars. And we'll go through these three options here, but for now let's just look at the basic with the get more page likes. So typically what we're trying to do is obviously increase the awareness of our page within the Facebook community, and by doing our advert, as soon as people like that page, then their friends see that they've liked this page, which obviously further drives interest or awareness in the page that we've just created. So as I mentioned in the outline of the course, really the image is pretty key. It's not a particularly good image, but let's just leave that for now. We will get more in detail into images. And obviously the headline is very important, because it's really the image and the headline that people are going to notice, and that's what's going to stand out. So if I just change that and say, do you like classic cars? Okay, simple question. And then in the text what we'll do is we'll probably just make a simple call to action that says click like if you are mad about cool classic cars. So that's the basic ad, and this just gives you a real simple preview of how that'll look when that appears on the page. The option here, landing view, that simply means when someone actually clicks on their ad, do you want them to take them to your main page, or your timeline page on this classic cars page, or a photos page. So we're just going to leave that as timeline, and you can also change, you can have up to 6 images here. So we're just going to leave that one there for now. Sponsored stories, will come on to that. Basically Facebook will charge you to run the ad in the right hand column, and also charge you to run it as a sponsored story. For now let's just remove that, so we just want to show the ad. So this is where it gets really interesting now, because this is the targeting, and this is where we can do a demographic breakdown. So as you can see, we're starting off and Facebook has just selected United Kingdom, and it's saying there's basically 36 million people who live in the United Kingdom. And when it says who are not already connected to Cool Classics, that just means that there's 36 million people who haven't actually liked the page. So that's effectively everybody, all age ranges, genders, everything. Now we could, if we wanted to, we could just literally run the ad like that, and away we go, and obviously you've got a massive audience. The problem with that is that for most people that's going to be completely irrelevant. So let's just play with these demographics just a little bit. So I'm just going to up the age just a little bit to say 17, and as you can see it alters our total audience. This bit's very good. You can play around with this as much as you like, because as soon as you click on any of these options, you'll see that it changes the number of people that are in our complete audience. And as I say, you can specify an age range. So let's just say we want 17 to 40, and we're just targeting men. So now that's dropped that down to 10 million. Where it gets really interesting, we can specify actual precise interests, and what Facebook will do is try and match those interests based on what people have put in. So as I start typing, you should see, and there we go, there's one for classic car. How and we've got other likes and interests related to that. So we've got vintage car, barn find. So as you can see, we're really starting to zone in on our specific target audience. So this has brought it down to 184,000 people. Well, why would you go through this process? Well, it's simple really. If you're paying for clicks on your advert, you want to make sure that those people that are clicking on your ad are actually interested in it, and the more niche you can make it, obviously it should be that your response to your ad is better, and it's actually going to cost you less per click. So it's really about matching your ad with your target audience. So this is the key thing really with Facebook. You've really got to get your demographics nailed on. So it's worth doing some research beforehand, to try and understand what your target market is or who they are before you actually even create the advert. So let's just we're going to leave that there for now, and I'm just going to skip over the categories at the moment. Custom audiences, we'll cover that in the section on the Power Editor. What custom audiences allows you to do, it's quite useful. It allows you to create an audience. Say for instance, I've said this ad's targeted at men who are 17 to 40. I could create that as an audience, and it means that I could then reuse that audience across several different ads. So rather than have to come in here each time and create it. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to, on the connections, we're just going to leave that as a default. So in other words, if someone likes the page, they won't see the ad. If they don't like the page, they will see the ad. And so the last bit, really pretty important, is our campaign pricing and schedule. So the way that it's structured in Facebook is that you have a campaign, and that campaign can be comprised of many ads. So let's just give this in fact, we'll just leave what Facebook has put here. So it said Cool Classics page likes for Great Britain 17 to 40. Actually, what I will do is I'll take that off. You'll see when we create the ad, I tend to put any ad specifics in the title of the ad rather than the title of the campaign. So two options really on the campaign budget. It may be that you've got X amount to spend that you cannot go over, or you can set a daily limit. So at the moment that's saying per day it's going to show £7. So that means it shows ads up until it reaches the budget amount of £7. Once it reaches that, it stops for the day. So it could be that your ad, it uses up its budget by 10 o'clock in the morning, in which case the ads don't get shown again until the next day. And you can set a start and end date, or you can just say run my campaign continuously starting today. And then we come on to the optimization, or the actual pricing of your ad. So our campaign budget, as you see, £7. So that sets the actual overall amount that we're going to spend maximum per day. And with Facebook, as with many other pay-per-click platforms, you have two basic forms of pricing. You can either pay per click, so that's obviously when your ad is shown. Your ad can be shown thousands of times and you only pay when somebody actually clicks on it. Or you can pay on a CPM model, which is stands for cost per mille. Mille is 1,000 in Italian. So you're paying every 1,000 impressions, or every time 1,000 times that your ad is shown, then you pay a set amount. So we're going to start off with clicks, and what you really want to do is manually set this, because it gives you a lot better control over it. If you just allow Facebook to set the pricing, it's possible that you'll end up paying more. So let's just say we want to manually bid for our clicks and the pricing. So as I mentioned, the CPC, cost per click, is you only charge when somebody actually clicks on your ad. So as you can see at the top here, we've got our price range of 18 to 38 pence. That just gives you it's just a rough guide really, and it's saying suggested amount is 29. We can leave it there, because what happens is if we do get a lot of take up in terms of, because our ad's targeted very much at people that like classic cars, and we're saying classic cars in the ad, it should be that we get a reasonable amount of clicks, and it's one of those things where the more clicks you get, the cheaper that it actually gets. So it could be that we can really drive the cost of the click down. So although we're saying we want to pay 29p, the reality could be quite different. That's that. So if we just click place order, that's now placed the order. Now that doesn't actually go live straight away. Every single ad that you submit to Facebook has to go through an approval process, and that's obviously they have to check for any profanities in the ad text, or that might be that the ad image is unsuitable. So that then goes into the review process, and that can be as short as an hour to 2 hours. It could be as long as a day. So it's just worth bearing that in mind if you're looking to plan any type of Facebook advertising. Don't expect to put an ad, submit an ad and have it live immediately. So we can just click done. And you'll see that we can see a preview of the ad. We can see that this ad targets 184,000 people, and it gives us a breakdown of the demographics. So it's just targeting males between the ages of 17 and 40 who like classic cars, vintage cars, or barn finds. So that's just a summary of obviously what we've just entered. As I mentioned, what I like to do is change the name of the ad to reflect the demographic that I'm targeting. So, and I'll also call this image 1 because we'll create a different image, and then just call that M17 to 40. So it just means we've got a quick way of seeing that that's our target demographic for this particular ad. So what would happen next is obviously go through the review process once it's approved, and if we either set the ad to show straight away or to set it between certain times, then obviously it would start running straight away. So don't worry if you don't actually want to spend any money at this point, but you want to have a play around with the editor like we've just seen there. When we create an ad, it doesn't get approved straight away. And what you can also do is you can click on the once this is live, you can actually pause it so that it won't actually be shown or accrue any cost. So don't be afraid to play around with it and think that you're going to rack up lots of expense in terms of the ads, because you can create them and just pause them straight away.